what you're doing here, the top secret program at Bletchley. You're trying to break the German Enigma machine.
What makes you think that?
It's the greatest encryption device in history, and the Germans use it for all major communications.
He's considered to be the father of computer science, the codebreaker whose work may have shaved years off the Second World War. Alan Turing's secret life in the confines of Bletchley Park is now one of the biggest film releases of the year.
What if only a machine can defeat another machine?
And on display inside the real Bletchley are the film's props, including a copy of the machine Turing perfected. Hundreds were built to crack the daily combinations of Germany's notorious Enigma code. The real Alan Turing killed himself aged just 41 after being prosecuted for homosexuality. But this celebration of his life has prompted one of Britain's spy masters, the former chief of MI6 no less, to come in from the cold.
It is one of the most extraordinary features of this whole story that it did not become known to the enemy, that their very top-level communications were being successfully intercepted.
The Germans carried on using Enigma machines throughout the war, even though the code was first cracked in 1940. Now terrorists are not using Enigma, but the encrypted internet to communicate. And the intelligence agencies are once again desperate to intercept their messages.
It's the same role, isn't it, of breaking codes that Turing was taking in 1940.
Well, of course, and I don't think anybody is denying that the codes of people who are making a direct physical threat against you and the communications of people who are planning such attacks need to be intercepted and understood.
British industry helped build these machines. Today, by contrast, technology companies stand accused of failing to cooperate, not against a single enemy state, but against multinational jihadist terrorists who use the same social media platforms as the rest of us.
So there's a multiplicity of channels which has grown up, of course, with the internet, which makes it's a completely different task.
Which is the argument for mass surveillance, presumably, that because they're using civilian methods of communication, you have to intercept those.
Well, I haven't heard any representative from a liberal democracy talking about mass surveillance. That is not.
Well, a mass collection of data is the issue.
Well, I mean, clearly this is the problem. How do you manage to protect yourself against the threat whilst respecting the rights and liberties and privacy of the citizens?
Sir John's own problem is Iraq. Back in 2002, he was in overall charge of a government dossier on Saddam Hussein, a dossier we now know was seriously flawed. No wonder he would rather talk about the almost mythical heroes of Bletchley Park instead.
I can't immediately think of another story in terms of achievement in the world of intelligence which surpasses what happened here between 39 and 45.
It was a great success, as you say. It could be argued that your association with it is burnishing your credentials after one of the worst failures in intelligence. I'm talking about Iraq, obviously. How would you answer to that plea that...
I'm very proud to be chairman of Bletchley Park, which was an outstanding success.
But Iraq wasn't.
Bletchley Park was an outstanding success.
What did you do during the war?
I worked in a radio factory.
The lessons of the past then: first, know your enemy by deciphering his messages accurately. The stakes today are nowhere near as high as 1940, but the threat is possibly even harder to detect.